Okay, so hello everyone, good evening and welcome to our channel. Tell me if everything is fine with the audio and the video so that we can start with the session. Okay, quickly confirm that everything is fine. Okay, I believe everything is fine with the audio and the video. So we are continuing with the session. So basically the agenda of today's session is to target the SEBI grade A examination. I hope you all have covered the finance syllabus that is provided to you in the SEBI crash course, right? And after doing that finance syllabus, we are going to have the practice question with us through these MCQs that we are going to cover today. We are going to check our knowledge whether we have covered the static portion or the finance syllabus in a right way or not. So we are discussing the questions today. Okay, so today we are targeting the finance question. Today we are going to cover in this session 25 MCQs which are related to your finance subject that is going to help you in the examination to how to deal with the question, what is the correct concept in this, that will going to help you in the examination. Okay, I hope everything is fine. Good evening. Good evening. So we are going to begin with our session. I hope you have seen the previous year analysis of the SEBI grade A examination that we have covered in the YouTube itself as well. You can watch that also before getting into this MCQ, because that will give you the clarity, the guidance and the, we can say, direction through which you have to route your efforts while you are doing the SEBI grade A examination preparation. Okay, so we are beginning with the today's session of 25 MCQs. Okay, so in this session we have 25 questions, right? And you will answer me in the comment section that what is the right answer, and I will tell you what is the, we can say, the right answer and why this is a wrong answer. Yes, chalo start karte hain. Question number one, the RBI's mandate does not include which of the following? So your options are: first, regulation of stock market; monetary policy implementation; regulation of banking sector; D, foreign exchange management; and E, ensuring financial stability. Again, this is a question from your static portion. You can easily solve this. So tell me what do you think is the right answer in this question? So again, this is a very important and very easy question. Yes, A is the right answer. Great Ranjana. So right. So RBI do not regulate, or we can say supervise, the stock market. SEBI is the one who regulates the stock markets or the financial markets. Let's just move ahead with question number 2. How does heightened market volatility in the small and the mid cap segments impact the initial public offerings? So what do you think, that whenever a company is deciding to go for an IPO, whether they look for the market trend that is happening, whether they look for the investor sentiment before they issuing their IPO? So they are giving you a situation. What does happen if there is a lot of volatility in the mid cap and the small cap segment? Will the company go with the IPO or not? So what do you think? I just read out the options for you. So increased volatility boosts the investor confidence, leading to higher subscription. No, this is wrong. The increased volatility just hamper the investors' confidence, that we can say discourages the investors to go for the market investment, right? So erratic movement in the stock prices due to volatility make investors more eager to subscribe to IPO. No, the stock prices volatility, or we can say the market sentiments that are going on, always discourages the investors to put their money even in the IPOs as well. So this is not again a right option, right? Okay, somebody says C. Let's just have a look. Valuation concerns arising from the market fluctuation can lead to delays and cancellation of IPOs. True. This is right, Arya. This is the correct answer. So basically, yes, whenever there is a market volatility, even if it is a big firm, or we can say the big large cap segment of we can say the company relates to large cap segment, even then they might delay their IPO, right? Because the market volatility that can hamper the fair value of the IPO, and that is the reason they might go for cancelling the IPOs, right? So yes, C is the right answer. Great. Question number 3, a number of subcommittees are constituted under the RBI Central Board. One of such subcommittee is Board for Financial Supervision, which is responsible for consolidated supervision of the financial sector. In this, we include the Indian banking system, the non-banking system, and the cooperative banking system. Then, which is under the jurisdiction of the RBI with regards to BFS, consider and identify the incorrect statement. So read the question very carefully. It says, what is the incorrect statement? So what do you think? What is the incorrect statement among these three statements? I'm giving you some time to solve it, right? What do you think is the right answer in this case? So let's just read out. So BFS was constituted, this was constituted in 1934. So as per your, we can say, static knowledge, what do you think? Right. So BFS was constituted in 1935 and the RBI governor is the chairman of for this committee. The BFS assists and provides the secretarial support to the Department of Supervision, and BFS oversees the functioning of Department of Banking Supervision, Non-Banking Supervision, and Department of Cooperative Bank Supervision. So what do you think is the right answer? You all are saying C, that is one only. Yes, this is the incorrect information because this was not constituted in 1934. Instead, this was constituted in 1994. So what is the right answer? This is the incorrect information that is given. So this one is the incorrect option. Great, everyone. Question number 4. Question number 4. With SEBI and the government promoting the alternative funding routes, municipal or muni bonds are expected to play a key role in the infrastructure financing. Considering this, identify the incorrect statement regarding the muni bonds from the following. So you must know what are the types of bonds that are there in the market and what do you think is the incorrect statement regarding to mini bonds. Okay, so let's just read out the option. It says municipal bonds are debt instruments issued by local government to fund public infrastructure projects. Second statement says these bonds pay periodic interest and repay the principal amount at maturity. C. Municipal bonds are exempt from most federal and state local taxes. Municipalities must maintain a non-negative net worth in each year, 3 years preceding the bond issue. The issuing municipality must not have defaulted on interest or principal payment in the past. So what do you think is the right answer? You have to tell me the incorrect statement. So C is the right answer in this case. C is the right answer in this case. Why? Because municipal bonds are not exempted from federal, state or local taxes. So you have to remember this point, that this is not being exempted from any kind of taxes. Question number 5. There's an assertion and the reason. We have to read the statement very carefully. The assertion says the derivative instruments like futures and swaps are primarily used for hedging risk in the financial statement. What is the reason for this statement? It says derivatives allow for locking in or prices for future transactions, thereby reducing the uncertainty. What do you think the assertion and reasons are correct? Are they true or are they both false? What do you think is the right answer in this case? So see, derivatives, this assertion is true that derivative instruments like future and swaps are generally used to hedge the risk, right? And how they do it, how investors do it, they just fix the prices, the future prices, okay, for the future transaction so that the upcoming uncertainty can be minimized by today only. And this is, with this we can say yes, the assertion and the reason both are true. So A is the right, we can say, answer in this case. Both A and R are true. R is a correct explanation for A. Let's just move ahead with question number 6. Read the following statement carefully and identify the statement which are incorrect. So you have to read the question again very carefully. They are asking the incorrect answer. Okay, so there are some questions that are, there are some, we can say, statement given to you. Let's just read out. It says under the recourse factoring, the credit risk is borne by the factor in case of non-payment by the debtor. So for this answer, for solving this answer, you must know what is the recourse factoring, right? Let's just move to the next we can say second statement. It says forfeiting can be used to cover 100% of the purchasing amount. Third statement says, under forfeiting, the receivables convert into the debt instrument, which can be traded on a secondary market. So what do you think is the right answer in this case? Question number 6. Okay. So basically A is the right answer in this case. Only one statement is incorrect. It says both the statement that is given for the forfeiting is correct. देखिए recourse factoring क्या होता है? That means recourse factoring is a feature that is there in a factoring service, financial services, right? So होता क्या है? Recourse factoring में the we can say the risk, the credit risk in case the जिससे आपको पैसे लेने हैं, अगर वो आपको पैसे नहीं देता, देन द रिस्क इज बिंग बॉन्ड बाय द डेटर इटसेल्फ. ओके, दैट मीन्स देखिए एक किसी ने सवाल भी पूछा, मैम यू कैन क्विकली एक्सप्लेन द रिकोर्स फैक्टरिंग एंड द फोरफीटिंग, राइट? लेट्स जस्ट मूव अहेड. इससे हम पढ़ते हैं थोड़ा सा रिकोर्स फैक्टरिंग. पहले हम फैक्टरिंग पढ़ लेते हैं, फिर उसके बाद रिकोर्स इसके फीचर पर आएंगे. ठीक है, फैक्टरिंग क्या होती है? सपोज आई एम अ बिजनेस, आई हैव अ बिजनेस, आई हैव सम काइंड ऑफ वी कैन से बिल्स दैट इज नॉट yet paid by one of my client. Okay, so I am using this bill to give it to we can say a factoring company. A factoring company, basically a factor, I'm going to call it as a factor. So this factor is going to pay me the amount for this bill, okay, which is going to be less than the bill amount. Say the bill is of 1 lakh rupees, so for that I'm going to get only 90,000 rupees. Okay, so this is the money that I'm getting. So this factor just take this bill and at the time of we can say 3 months. अच्छा, इसमें एक और बाइफिकेशन करेंगे. फैक्टरिंग जो होती है 1 से 6 महीने के बीच में होती है, दैट इज बिटवीन 1 to 6 months, शॉर्ट पीरियड के लिए की जाती है फैक्टरिंग. So for after 3 months, the client declines, or we can say do not pay me the money, right? So in that case, who is going to bear the risk of not paying this money? So in that case, this company is going to bear all the losses. Okay, in case this is called non we can say recourse factoring. That means this is not going to bear any loss or any risk. The risk will be beared by this company who have given me the bill. So this is a recourse factor. So let's just read the statement again. It says under the recourse factoring, the credit risk, that means the risk of not being repaid for the bill, is borne by the factor. Factor तो यही है इस केस में. No, factor will not going to bond the risk in this case. Okay, this company is going to pay me for that bill. So factor in the case of non-payment by the debtor, that means the client. Okay, so this company is going to give me the money in that case. So first statement is incorrect. Forfeiting क्या होता है? Forfeiting होता है for more than 6 months, to say 7 years. Now there is a feature of forfeiting. Forfeiting का feature क्या होता है? That suppose there is a exporter, they have sold their machine to a foreigner, right? Now that the payment for that machinery is $1 million. Okay, so this client, the foreign client have declined, or we can say मना कर दिया उन्होंने कि हम नहीं देंगे आपको अभी पैसे, हम आपको 3 साल बाद पैसे देंगे. After 3 years I'm going to pay you the amount for this machinery. So the exporter takes his bill to this bank and says, please give me the money. Now bank is the one who is going to give the complete $1 million to this exporter, and this bank is going to bear all the risk in case this we can say this individual, this foreign client do not pay the money. So the amount is large. The bank is going to assess the credit worthiness of the foreigner and the exporter as well in this case. So forfeiting this is how the forfeiting or the factoring is different from each other. Okay. Question number 7. SEBI is considered as a regulator of a security market in India. With regards to SEBI, consider and identify the correct answer. आपको correct answer identify करना है for the SEBI. There are some statement that is given related to SEBI. It says in 1988, via law passed in the parliament, SEBI attained the statutory status. Madhuri Puri Bach, first woman and the first private sector professional to lead the SEBI. Foreign portfolio investors are regulated by SEBI, and SEBI reserves the right to make rules and regulation on insider trading, listing, obligation, etc. So what do you think is the right answer? So basically B is the right answer. So basically C is the right answer, that is 2, 3 and 4. Why first is incorrect? Why first is incorrect? So in 1992, SEBI came into existence via passing a law in the parliament. So this is the right answer. All of the statement related to SEBI is correct. Right. Great, everyone. Question number 8. NBFCs play a vital role in credit delivery to sector often underserved by the traditional banks. With reference to NBFCs in India, identify the correct statement. So you have 4 statements related to NBFC. In the PYQ analysis as well, we saw that NBFC से related बहुत सारे question पूछे गए in the past year. That is in 2020, in 2022 examination, they were very much interested in the NBFC sector. So what do you think is the right answer in this case? B is the right answer. What is wrong with the first statement? It says NBFC can accept both demand and time deposit from the public. No, this is not a correct feature of NBFC. Hence, only 2, 3rd and 4th statement is correct. Let's just move ahead with question number 9. It says the primary objective of fiscal responsibility and the Budget Management Act is to dash. So you must know what is the responsibility, or we can say what is the primary objective of such FRBM Act. I hope you have read it. So yes, question number 9. I am waiting for the answers. What do you think is the right answer? So B is the right answer. The agenda, or we can say the objective of this FRBM Act is to promote the fiscal discipline and reduce the fiscal deficit of the economy or the state. चलो आगे चलते हैं. This is a very easy question. It says the wholesale price index and the consumer price index in India differ in that dash. So basically they are asking you the difference between the WPI and CPI. Now this is a very basic question, very easy question. You all can solve, but again this is a part of your statics. So you must know what is the difference between a WPI and a CPI. Question number 10. So yes, A is the right answer. It says WPI measures the inflation at a wholesale level, while CPI measures it at a retail level. Very good. So right, this is the right answer. Now these kind of questions help you in gaining more and more marks in the examination. So SEBI has recently clarified that its cybersecurity and cyber resilience framework will apply only to systems used for SEBI regulated activities, and hence has introduced a risk-based classification for regulated entities. So through this framework, they have just revised the asset under management, or we can say the portfolio manager based on their asset under management or AUM. So you have to identify that what are the portfolio managers having a AUM of more than 10,000 crore. How will they categorize this? So this is a question from your current affair. What do you think is the right answer? So basically A is the right answer in this case. Mid-size regulated entities are the right answer. Qualified regulated entities is not a correct answer. Is not a correct answer. अगर आपने ध्यान से पढ़ा होगा करंट अफेयर, देन मिड साइज रेगुलेटेड एंटिटीज का टेबल हमने बहुत ही ध्यान से बनाया हुआ है in our RBI 247 magazine. So you can check that again. Okay. Chalo, question number 12. Consider and identify the correct statements. Okay. So Indian financial system consists of derivatives, merchant banking, stock broking, as well as asset-based leasing. Factoring is a kind of financial instrument. The RBI set up the Board for Financial Supervision with the objective of dedicated and integrated supervision of all the credit institution. What do you think? What is wrong? Or we can say what is we can say the correct statement, and what is wrong with the incorrect statement that you have stated. Yes, so I'm waiting for question number 12's answer. See, this is a very easy question. The first statement is correct. Why? Because Indian financial system में क्या क्या आता है? आपके derivatives आते हैं, merchant banking आती है, stock broking आती है, asset based leasing आती है. Yes, this is true. So Indian financial system में we include all such things. Now it says factoring is a kind of financial instrument. मैंने अभी आपको बताया factoring is not a financial instrument. हम कोई financial instrument इसमें नया issue नहीं कर रहे हैं. But this is a kind of financial services that is being provided to the exporter, or we can say to the companies, right? So this is not a financial instrument. So that is the reason the second statement is incorrect. Third statement is correct because RBI set up the Board for Financial Supervision with the objective to dedicated and to have a dedicated and integrated supervision for all the credit institution. This is true. We have just read about the BFS, that is Board of Financial Supervision. हमने इसके बारे में पढ़ा and we can get to know that yes, this is the correct statement. So which one is the correct statement? D is the right answer. 1 and 3 is correct statement. Let's just move ahead with question number 13. A commercial paper is a short-term negotiable unsecured debt instrument issued in the form of promissory note. What is the minimum denomination of a CP, that is commercial paper? So आपको पता होना चाहिए what is the minimum denomination for the commercial paper. Merchant banking is a part of your financial system. Question number 13, I am not getting an answer. So basically 5 lakh, D. 5 lakh is the minimum denomination for commercial paper. Even if the investor is buying for a commercial paper, the minimum investment amount in the commercial paper is also 5 lakh only. So you have to remember this rule and remember this number, that 5 lakh is the minimum investment or the minimum denomination in the commercial paper. Let's just move ahead with question number 14. Analyze the following. In a period of high inflation, the RBI opts to increase the repo rate. Right? What does this signify and what is the expected outcome? Right? Now this is related to your static knowledge or information, but here comes the application. You are using your conceptual knowledge in the application based question. So what do you think is the right thing that happens when there is a high inflation and RBI opts to increase a repo rate? Question number 14. So in this case, B is the right answer. That means it signifies a tightening of monetary policy. Whenever a repo rate has been increased, they just help the banks, or we can say they just induce the banks and the financial institution to increase the interest rate for the loans as well. This discourages the individuals and the companies to borrow more loan from the financial institution. So this gives us a tendency that yes, currently there is a tightening monetary policy. The expected outcome is reduction in the borrowing and the spending, which should help in the controlling inflation. This is true and correct. So B is correct. Question number 15. Recently, SEBI started giving approvals for launch of specialized investment fund. Very important, we can say key terminology that you must know. Okay, so a new mutual fund category introduced in April 2025. So Quant Mutual Fund was the first one who rolled out the SIF. So what they are asking is, consider the following statement regarding the SIF and tell me which one is the correct. So there are some features that are being laid down in the statements and you have to identify which one is the correct statement. Okay. Question number 15. Question number 15. So right. So statement number 2. The minimum investment amount for SIF is 1 lakh. No, this is incorrect. The minimum investment amount is 10 lakh for SIF. All other statements are correct in this case. Why? SIFs requires one-time license for the AMC plus approval for the individual schemes, and distributors must pass a NISM series exam to sell the SIF. This is also true, and SIF can be used for advanced strategies like long and short equity. So they provide all such kind of features. It's true. So in this case, which one is the correct? 1, 3 and 4 are correct in this case. Let's just move ahead. Question number 16. If a company has an authorized share capital of 1 lakh shares at 10 each rupees, it issues the 70,000 shares at rupees 12 per share. The security premium reserve will be dash. Okay, now here comes the calculation based question. Now you must know that how can we calculate the security premium reserve for the company. Question number 16. We can write the formula first. So basically, how do we calculate the premium reserve? So basically, first we have to identify the premium amount. So we know that the face value is 10 rupees and the shares which are issued at is 12 per share. So we get to know that the premium here is 2 rupees per share. And how many shares that they are issuing in this case is 70,000 shares. So this is a very easy question. You just need to do a correct multiplication in this case. That is 1,40,000 is the security premium reserve. So A is the right answer. Question number 17. In recent times, multiple central banks and financial institutions across the globe, including Bank for International Settlement, have established innovation hubs, which are expected to lead the response to digital innovation. The RBI has also set up the RBIH, that is Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, as announced in the MP statement of, that is Monetary Policy Statement of 2020. So this is a very important information that you can simply remember as a static information, important information. आगे चलते हैं. You have to identify the correct answer, or we can say the correct statement in this case. So there are some statements related to RBIH. Okay, let's just read out. RBIH is registered as a section 25 of Companies Act 2013. The second statement says it has a registered head office in Bengaluru. Shri S. Gopal Krishna is the first chairman of RBIH, and the motto of RBIH is threefold: innovation, inclusion and awareness. So what do you think is the right answer for question number 17? Okay, I'm getting that E is the right answer in this case. Okay, no, this is incorrect. E is not a correct answer. Why? Because RBI is registered under Companies Act under section 8. Under section 8. Right? And then what is wrong with we can say, the fourth statement? The motto of RBI is 3 I's. 3 I's. You will always remember 3 I's. That is innovation, inclusion and impact. It's not awareness, it's impact. So 3 I's are there as a RBIH motto. Let's just move ahead with question number 18. Again, a assertion and reason question. It says the value of the derivative instrument is derived from the value of its underlying assets such as stock, commodity, currency and index. The reason says the derivatives have independent intrinsic value that does not depend on the market movements of underlying asset. So what do you think? Is the assertion correct? And the reason for the assertion is correct or not? Okay, so assertion is correct. That means yes, that the value of the derivative is dependent upon the underlying asset. The underlying asset could be stock, that could be commodity, that could be currency, index, anything, right? The reason is incorrect. Why? Because it says derivatives have independent intrinsic value. No, the value of the derivative is dependent upon the underlying asset. This is what assertion says. The reason is not correct. They do not have their independent value, right? So reason is incorrect. So what is the right option in this case? C is the right answer. That is, assertion is true, but the reason is false in this case. Question number 19. A money market fund is a kind of mutual fund that invests in highly liquid short-term instruments. When were money market mutual fund introduced in India? Money market funds introduced in India. So what do you think is the right answer in this case? Money market mutual funds. So again, this is the static question. You must know the establishment year of each kind of mutual fund, or we can say the type of mutual funds that are there, whether they are open-ended or closed one. So in this case, D is the right answer. In case you don't know, D is the right answer. That is, the money market mutual fund was introduced in April 1991. Let's just move ahead. Question number 20. Consider the following statement and identify the incorrect statement. Okay, you have to select the incorrect statement. So the first one says the Committee on Financial Inclusion was chaired by Shri Deepak Mohanty, RBI 2008. Then RBI Committee on Medium Term Path to Financial Inclusion was chaired by Dr. C. Rangaranjan, RBI 2015. The Financial Inclusion Triad consists of financial inclusion policies, financial literacy initiative, and customer grievance redressal framework. So what do you think is the right, or we can say the incorrect statement in this case? We have to look for the incorrect statement. Question number 20. So basically first and second statement is incorrect. The Committee of Financial Inclusion was not chaired by the Shri Deepak Mohante. Instead, this was chaired by the Dr. C. Rangarajan. Right? But the Committee on Medium Term Path to Financial Inclusion was chaired by Shri Deepak Mohante. This is vice versa. So first two statements are incorrect. Third statement is correct. So we have to identify the incorrect. So which one is the right answer in this case? D is the right option in this case. Question number 21. Recently, SEBI released data. Accordingly, investments in the AIF touched a record high, crossing 14.2 trillion in June 2025. SEBI allows only sophisticated investors to participate in the AIF. What is the minimum investment ticket size mandated by SEBI for investors other than employees, directors of AIF to invest in the AIF? So you have to identify the minimum investment ticket size for investing in AIF. Again, a very important current affair. I'm waiting for your answer. What is the right answer for question number 21? What do you think is the right answer for question number 21? No, A is not a correct answer. 10 lakh is incorrect. So basically 1 crore is the right answer. So the minimum investment amount is 1 crore. In case they are employees, in case they are employee or director of the AIF, then the minimum investment amount is 25 lakh. Do remember this. This is one of the important change that has been done by the SEBI. Okay, question number 22. The par value of the share is significant because, what do you think? Why par value is important to be known for the investors? And why generally par value is important of shares? Very general question. You might have read about that what are par value, face value. 21 हम कर चुके हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 22. So very easy. Yes, it's a nominal or the face value, right, of the shares. So this face value, or we can say the nominal value, is generally showed in the documentation. So that is the reason this is very important. This is not always equal to market value of shares, so this becomes incorrect. Or all other statements related to this is incorrect. Let's just move ahead with question number 23. What all are included in the definition of corporate group? This is a very general question. If you know that what do you mean by corporate group, you will be able to identify that what is the right answer in this case. ठीक है, corporate group क्या होता है? When there are related party to a particular company. तो हम उसे as a corporate group मानते हैं. That this is a corporate group. इसमें सारी parties एक दूसरे से related हैं, right? So you have to identify what is the correct definition के अंदर कौन कौन आता है. Corporate group के definition के अंदर कौन कौन आता है. Question number 23, right? Question number 22 का सही आंसर दिया है आपने. Question number 23. Okay, so let's just read out the statements. All subsidiaries and affiliate companies, related parties disclosed in annual report of the company's website. If a company's promoter or promoter group is also a major shareholder in another company, then that other company will also be considered as a part of same group. So if you think logically, related parties में कौन कौन आता है, then you can easily identify, yes, all subsidiary companies or affiliate companies are related companies. ठीक है. Then related parties जिनकी information कहाँ दी गई है, annual report में दी गई है. That's yes, that those we can say companies and parties are going to be a part of corporate group. And then this statement is also correct. So yes, so all three statements are correct in this case of corporate group definition. Question number 24, everyone. Recently, SEBI released the revised draft on closing auction session. Closing auction session in the cash equity market. What is a closing auction session as proposed by SEBI? तो closing auction क्या होता है? If you know some factors, some key terminologies about the stock market, you will get to know that closing auction session क्या होता है. देखिए, closing price determine किया जाता है at the end of the day. क्लोजिंग प्राइस. और ये जनरली किस तरह से आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता है? दिस इज बीइंग आइडेंटिफाइड बेस्ड ऑन द लास्ट 30 मिनट्स. लास्ट 30 मिनट्स जो होते हैं स्टॉक सेशन के, जैसे कि 9:15 बजे शुरू होती है आपकी मार्केट और 3 साढ़े 3 बजे तक चलती है. तो बिटवीन 3 to 3:30 PM they just identify the trades based on their size and based on their prices they are being traded on. So based on the average weighted average size, weighted average price, they identify what is going to be the closing price, right? पर अब सेबी क्या कहता है? सेबी कहता है कि नहीं, ये हम जिस तरीके से इसे निकालते हैं ना, ये क्लोजिंग प्राइस, दैट इज वेरी, वी कैन से, नॉट अ वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट वे ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग अ फेयर क्लोजिंग प्राइस. क्यों? क्योंकि लास्ट 30 मिनट्स में कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशनल जो इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं वो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी ट्रेड लेते हैं और महंगे पे लेते हैं. उससे क्या होता है, जो क्लोजिंग प्राइस होता है उसकी वैल्यू बढ़ जाती है. तो वो इंटेंशनली उनके द्वारा किया जाता है, राइट? तो अब उसके लिए क्लोजिंग ऑक्शन सेशन निकाला जा रहा है. देखिए, क्लोजिंग ऑक्शन सेशन में क्या होगा, दैट देयर वुड बी 15 मिनट्स एट द एंड ऑफ द स्टॉक मार्केट ट्रेडिंग डे. ठीक है, ट्रेडिंग डे के लास्ट के 15 मिनट्स में एक सेशन किया जाएगा जिसमें सभी इन्वेस्टर्स क्या करेंगे, ऑक्शन करेंगे फॉर द क्लोजिंग प्राइस. सो दैट इज द मोस्ट एक्यूरेट एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट वे ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग द डिमांड एंड सप्लाई फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर ट्रेड. सो we get to know, I hope आपको आंसर पता चल गया होगा, the post market auction session to determine the official closing price of stocks. So B is the right answer. Great. Question number 25, consider the following statement and identify the correct statement. आपको correct statement identify करनी है. Let's just read out. It says venture capital, merchant banking and hire purchases are all examples of fee based financial service. ठीक है, फी बेस्ड फाइनेंशियल सर्विस, ध्यान से पढ़ना है हमें. आगे देखिए, मनी मार्केट इज द मार्केट प्लेस फॉर इशूइंग डिपेंचर्स एंड लॉन्ग टर्म कॉर्पोरेट डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. The third statement says that financial institutions mobilize savings of the surplus units and allocate them to productive activities, promising a better rate of return. What do you think? What is the correct statement? So right, third is the right statement. What is wrong with the first and the second statement? देखिए, ध्यान से देखिए, वेंचर कैपिटल, मर्चेंट बैंक एंड हायर परचेजेस, इसमें क्या होता है, दैट बैंक्स का अपना खुद का पैसा इन्वॉल्व होता है. दे आर नॉट अर्निंग मनी थ्रू फीस that they are charging for this particular financial services. No, they are getting money, or they are getting, we can say, this is a fund based financial services, because the fund is being provided by the banks to a particular company. So this is a fund based financial services, not a fee based financial services. Fee based financial services में क्या होता है, the person or the company is charging the fee for giving you such services, right? तो first statement क्या हो गई, incorrect हो गई. सेकेंड, मनी मार्केट इज अ मार्केट प्लेस फॉर इशूइंग डिबेंचर्स, यहां तक ठीक है. आगे देखो क्या लिखा है, लॉन्ग टर्म कॉर्पोरेट डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट. नो, मनी मार्केट शॉर्ट टर्म कॉर्पोरेट डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट या फिर किसी भी तरह के डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो कि शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए हो, उसको टारगेट करता है, जैसे कि कमर्शियल पेपर, सीडीज हो गए, सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ डिपॉजिट्स, राइट. तो इसीलिए फर्स्ट टू स्टेटमेंट्स आर इनकरेक्ट, सो थर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट. सी इज द राइट ऑप्शन. सो विद दिस वी आर डन विद द 25 MCQs related to finance, right? So we are going to meet today only at 5 p.m. in our course, right? We are going to discuss the another 25 MCQs related to finance. Okay, so if you are not yet enrolled with the SEBI crash course, you can simply contact our counselors. Okay, so this the SEBI crash course is live now. You can simply go and contact our counselors for the same, and we are going to meet again today at 5 for another round of 25 MCQ questions. Okay, so goodbye, best of luck everyone. I hope this practice question have helped you in identifying the gaps in the knowledge and the information that you have. Okay, so goodbye everyone. Let's just meet at 5 p.m.